Nothing for EJ. Cool. Let's do. I've noticed after closing breakout, you trade the reversal, not the continuation. Yes, that is my setup. For continuations, I really don't like. It's not that I don't like to trade them. It's just that I find myself losing more when I take continuations. But when I take reversals, I see them so much clearer. So if it's at the previous day's low, I try to stay away from it. I don't, because I'll feel like I'm buying low, or I'm selling low. But if I'm at the high, like that's what I want to see, you know? It's easier for me for some reason. So that's literally all I trade. Closing breakout reversal trades, and I look for sells. And I like to either be at the high of day or the previous high of day. I think I just have a knack for like understanding what side price is working and what I need to see when an uptrend is happening, when a downtrend is happening. Look at this W locked in the low of day just to go higher. But these W's right here, man, start looking at those triple bottoms. These shapes, V bottoms, lock in the highs and lows. M pattern at the top. V pattern, type, maybe. I wouldn't even call that M pattern. W's, elongated W nonetheless. V shapes, W's and M's. That's what I look for. But let me show you exactly my process though. There's a process to this, y'all. And if you're not comfortable with lower time frames, stick to the 15-minute. The 15-minute doesn't fail. This is a 3-day setup. Why is it a 3-day setup, you may ask? Because we got a pump day on Friday. We got a false break reversal day, right? That's put in lower lows. And then day 3, you get the sell. Pump, coil, dump. It's when you're thinking about a 3-day setup, that's because most breakouts fail. Ooh, don't tell them the sauce. Most breakouts fail. Think about that. You see more closing breakouts. Like, let me go to my indicator. So let me turn off all the other signals besides closing breakout. This is a closing breakout is all you need. Trying to tell y'all, the fact that you get so many closing breakouts per week, that's why I only trade closing breakouts, because that's all that I need. All that I need. I just want to sell high and I want to take reversal trades. Unless it's, man, yeah. Now gold though, gold be delivering closing breakouts. I mean, look how many closing breakouts gold be giving you per week. You're going to at least get 2 to 3. Yes, it's the king of closing breakouts. So imagine you just saying, every time I get a closing breakout, I want to take a reversal trade, and I'm either going to buy or I'm going to sell. These are my type of trades right here. I'm just trying to sell high. When you're in New York session, which is my session, I'm marking my high and my low. Guess what happens? We breach the most recent low and we make a lower low, right? Lower low, even the low of day, we make a lower low. We pump back up, we coil, and we dump. This has got to be news. This wouldn't even be something I look for, because I like an entry candle, but same process. I just want to sell high. This gave you nothing for real. I'd have been in this trade, but yeah, probably would have either broke even or got out. This right here, you ask yourself during your session, right? Is it working the high or is it working the low? This is my high point and this is my low point. A lot of the times, if you're trading New York likes to stop hunt London. So if I'm selling high, it's stop hunts London just for it to immediately engulf at closing price, right? So lower low before, look, we broke structure, lower low in the inside of this pump. We pump back up, just a false break, and then we complete the pattern. So outside of all that's all it is, I see a pump, coil, and dump. Even, well, this one gave you the buy setup. It's working the low. And even then, right, you're breaking structure. Wicks attract wicks. Wicks attract wicks. Higher high, dump back down. Engulfing candle, wait for price to get above your EMA and take the trade. Oh, you're not comfortable with this? Okay, another higher high. We dump back down to where it broke out. Doji candle, take the trade. You're already above the EMA. Technically, you've already broken structure and you're on the backside. So once you're on the backside, it's just about taking those higher highs because those higher highs start your trade. And mind you, this is the 15 minutes. So let me go to the 5. Was this it? Or was we all the way over here? I think we were. I think I scrolled back a little bit. Yeah, I did. We're right here. It's literally the same thing. Breakout, pullback, trend. Higher high, right? We're already on the back side. If I know that this was my most recent lower high, lower low, lower high that failed and started going choppy, then we break structure. This structure is broken, right? Now we make a higher high in the inside and we dump back down. New York session, this is 8:45. So usually I find myself getting into metals around 9 a.m. So about time it breaks the EMA, it's pretty much 9 a.m. and it's just about taking the trade. This is always going to be your safest stop loss, right? Because you're buying low. But doesn't matter. Once you break out and make another higher high, you dump back down, take the engulfing candle right off the EMA. Boom. That's just how price moves, guys. Break out, pull back, coil, pump, fail. We fail. Lower high, lower low, equal high, lower low. You see what I'm saying? A downtrend should not invalidate its structure. Sorry, still trying to figure this out. What close? Oh, closing breakout is when there's a day that closes beyond the previous day's range. So this day is a closing breakout, right? Because the high of this day is here. This is the highest point of this day. So when price breaks out and closes in breakout, this is a closing breakout to the upside. This is a closing breakout to the downside because this is the previous day's low. Wednesday's low, we break out of Wednesday's low and closes outside of that range. So that's all the closing breakout is. And I tell people, I'm like, look, that's the easiest signal to trade. Literally the easiest signal to trade. It's nothing much to think about. It's either the breakout's going to fail or it's going to trend. Most of the time, it fails. It fails. You see what I'm saying? That's why I look for reversals. Closing breakout short, buy. See what I'm saying? Closing breakout short, buy. Closing breakout long, sell. Closing breakout long, sell. I'm not telling y'all to go against the signal, but what I'm saying is that most breakouts fail. Closing breakout short, fail. High, I noticed 3-day longs and 3-day shorts. It means 3 days of closing breakout or just 3 red or green days. Just 3 red or green days. That confused me too when I was first learning Stacey's strategy. I thought it had to be closing breakouts, but it's really just 2 days where it closes red, and then the third day you look for the buy. The highest probability of closing breakout is reversal, not continuation. Exactly. Exactly. So if I know that most breakouts fail, look at this. Closing breakout long, sell high setup. Closing breakout short, buying. Man, they make it too easy. If I'm going to be risking my money, I want to risk it where probability is high. And if I know that most breakouts fail and there's a signal called closing breakout, come on now. Closing breakout short. Okay, we may get a little small. This won't nothing though. We got the continuation on the front side of the day in Asia, but not in London. Boom. Most breakouts fail. Keep that in mind. So you simply go against the closing breakout of previous day. I'm not telling you to go against the breakout. That's my setup. What I am telling you is that most breakouts fail. So if you wanted to go against a closing breakout signal, you could do that. Why not? It depends, though, on how it sets up in your session. You get what I'm saying? You giving us too much sauce. I'm not giving you enough. I got more. No gatekeeping over here, just straight sauce. Of course, I hate gatekeepers. What? You know how many people used to gatekeep me? So many people. So many. So many mentors. So much money I spent on people. Closing breakout long. I got the short. Closing breakout long. Okay. You got a buy right here. A little small buy. Really, really, I like to see this right here. Closing breakout long. You got the buy. Most breakouts fail. That's all I'm going to say. Most breakouts fail. The only time I like trend trades is when, like I said, these right here be hard for me to trade. I'm not going to lie. These are hard for me. But these are easy. These are easy. Simple and clear. That work with the nasty Nas, gonna back test it. I like the idea. You are awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, back test it. You man, and this is happening on every single time frame. It just depends on what you want to see. Like in my Discord, right? In my community, my VIP community, a lot of people kind of struggle with sticking to one setup, especially when you're seeing other people doing it and you're like, I saw the sell, but now it's not like validating the sell. And now I kind of want to take the buy in. It's telling you, don't do that. Don't do that. Just stick to one side. It's either you're going to take trends or you're going to take reversals, right? If I got a closing breakout sell and we're at the previous day low and it breaches the previous day's low, then I'm going to look for the sell, period. If we're at the previous day's high and I'm looking for a sell from a closing breakout long, then I need to be at the high of day or the previous high of day. That's law. That's law. For me, it is. For me, that's law. I like to see stuff like this. You see how it breaches the previous day's low right here? We pump, we coil. Look where we're coiling at. It's just simple market structure, guys. If I'm already in a downtrend, then I don't need to be invalidating it. You see what I'm saying? Breakout, pullback, trend. Breakout, pullback, trend. Breakout, pullback, trend. I kid you not. This happens all the time. But the problem with us, we're too impatient. Who's waiting for this? It's only a few. It's only a few that can wait for this. You see? We break out, we pull back, we trend, but when we break out again and we pull back, we fail. Now we make a higher high. Now we dump back down to where we broke structure from. Now we're trending. Higher high, dump. Where are we pulling back to? Where we broke structure from. Boom, higher high, higher low, equal high. Let's just forget about signals and sessions right now. What exact setups do you use the high bull, low bear for? Please, can you show some examples? Yes. So a lot of times, let's look at this London trade for gold. A lot of the times when you're in your session, right, and you're trying to look for confluence like the high bull and the low bear, you remember when Stacey says that the first mouse gets taken out, something along those lines. So what I'll do is I'll look for the highest bull candle and I'll draw my line. A lot of the times when you're looking for sell high setups, this highest bull candle will be acting as resistance. Lower low, we pump back up. We're still respecting the high bull. We're still respecting the high bull. Boom. That's what I like to use sometimes in these type of scenarios. You'll see a high bull acting as resistance. This is the highest bull candle. Well, the highest bull candle that closed high. So I put my line underneath and there you go. High bull candle acting as resistance. Let me find a low bear acting as resistance. Honestly, I could say this, but it's like, nah. I don't use the high bull and the low bear as much, but it helps. It helps. It's just about finding that highest bull candle and then having it act as resistance. Looking at overall, market structure instead of reading every single candle completely changed my trading career. Absolutely. Stop reading every single candle. Read market structure. You can do this. You can use the high bull, but the only time I use the high bull and the low bear is when my trade is confirming and I see that we got a point where price is like resisting and I'll draw my line. I'm like, oh, okay, look. And then look, we're right near a round number. This is, hold on, literally previous day high is a round number. Can everybody see that? That's a round number that it's coiling right now. So it's just using those round numbers. I don't use round numbers when I'm trading, but like if I'm in a trade and I'll see I'm at a round number, I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm more confident. It just adds confidence. Keep your process simple. The round numbers, just add it as confidence. The high bulls, the low bears, just increase your confidence with that because it's confidence that stops people from taking trades. It's not the fact that they don't know. Right? So high bull acting as resistance. That's sometimes I use that if I see that we have hit an area multiple times where it's acting as resistance. Then again, it's this, I mean, come on. We're now in a downtrend. Boom, 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 boom. What do you use for journaling and data collection? What I use is I basically the end of the week, I'll go through TradingView on all my pairs on this watch list right here. I'll go through every single pair and I'll screenshot the setups that I could have took with my setup. I'll screenshot it and I'll either print it out and put it in a file, or I'll put it in a file in the computer. So I have like an actual physical file, and then I have a file in my computer, and I'm literally just creating a playbook. That's all that I do. I think that don't think about it as journaling and data collection. You're hunting something. You're hunting your setup. So you need a playbook, meaning you need a bunch of setups that happen on every single one of the pairs you trade on a daily basis. And you need to see that exact setup every single time. So when it's Friday, sometime during the week, go through each and every pair and screenshot the setups that you could have took. Mark the opening price or your equity hour, depending on if you trade New York. Put a horizontal or a vertical line on that time, and make sure that you are reiterating, like show an arrow pointing at entry where you should have entered, and screenshot every single trade that you could have took that week. And I promise you, like, that's what helped me. It's not going back and, you know, back testing on what is it called? It's called something replay. But I don't like study. I don't like, do that. I literally just take screenshots of trades that already played out and I study them. Hit that like button. This woman has opened my eyes to what I've been seeing all along. Thank you so much. Thank you. Chart Champs is horrible. I never heard of that. I've never heard of Chart Champs. But I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you. I'm glad that you're getting clarity, because it's nothing worse than doing something that you're passionate about and being confused. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to tell y'all, I understand how that feel. It sucks, especially when you're passionate about something. Something that can change your life, your family's lives, the lives around you. Like, I don't take this lightly. It's fun. Like, I actually genuinely, if I would do this even if I wasn't getting paid for it. Like, that's how much I like doing it. It's to the point where, like, I have to force myself to get off of lives. That's how much I like it. But yeah, it sucks being confused. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. You just can't. You just need a little push. You need somebody to break it down step by step. Exactly am I looking for? A lot of people don't break down the specifics. They just show you, okay, this happened, the coil happened, the pump happened, get in at the pin hammers and engulfings, but it's like there's more to it. They need to know how it transitions like that. It's just basic market structure. Being genuine will always get you much further in life. Absolutely. Y'all don't understand how many mentorships, how much money I spent, wasted. So many resources out there are free. The only thing that you should be paying for is people's time. You should not be paying for education. Education is free, bro. If you paying for education, that's crazy talk. The only time that I'll ever charge people is if they're paying for my time. That's the only time. Like, I only feel like my time is valuable. But when it comes to education, I just don't believe in that gatekeeping stuff. I don't. Only pay for people's time. Think about it, like, even with the closing breakout on GBP CAD, even with these jobs, right? These jobs only want to give you $20 an hour. An hour? That's how much I'm worth. $20 an hour. Really? It's a trap. It's a trap so that they can stop you guys from following your dreams. They want you to rely on these types of things. Mind you, prices are getting higher and higher and higher. Close and breakout, reversal trade here, right? Think about market structure and what we just talked about. So Price is going down, making higher highs, lower lows, lower highs, right? Lower low, lower high, equal low, equal low. I'm waiting for a higher high. This is a close and breakout reversal trade. So if you trade buy setups, this would have been a perfect example. But you got your dump, you got the coil at the low of day for this day. Remember, if I'm taking buy setups, I either want to be at the low of day or the previous low of day. We have made a lower low, lower high, equal low, higher high. And the inside, higher high, higher low, higher high. Boom. Where is it coiling? Well, we're at a monthly level and we're retesting the structure that we just broken out of. Higher high equal low, higher high, wicks attract wicks. How mechanical is your approach? I would say very mechanical. I'm not doing anything special besides following market structure, but this is as mechanical as it gets, especially for my setup. Because I keep it very specific. I only want to see sell high setups. If I'm buying, I only want to see buy low setups. This is very mechanical. Quick question. When you get a first green day or first red day, it doesn't always continue to go up or down depending on what it gives you. Is that correct? Yes. And that's one of the reasons, because when I started off with Stacey Burke's concept, I started off doing first red days, right? But then I noticed that not every first red day is valid. Not every first green day is valid. It's harder. And honestly, I would rather take a first red day and a first green day from a monthly level than a weekly level. That's me personally. Just because, think about it, those signals are directional bias signals. So let's go to a daily time frame. It is way easier telling yourself, let me go to something other than GBP CAD. Let's go to an index, US 30. Turn my indicator off real quick. This is how I like to do the daily time frame too. You can be murdering stuff on, let me not say murdering, but you can be literally, I'm talking about killing it. Same thing. I thought that was better, but it wasn't. But look, if I'm going to take a first green day, holy cannoli, then I need to be at a monthly high or at a monthly low. Basically, I either want to be taking first green days at the low and taking first red days at the high. Think about what we just talked about, market structure, right? Even maybe I'll look at it like this, huh? I find myself finding more first red days and first green days valid when it approaches a monthly high. Boom, first red day. It approaches a monthly low. Boom, first green day. First red day, first green day. First red day, first green day. You see what I'm saying? These levels are already there. So that's usually what I'm doing. I'm marking highs and lows and I'm seeing, okay, how did price close this day? It broke out of this monthly high, but then I get a first red day at the high. I would rather take first red days here and first green days here. Simple market structure. We break out, we pull back, first green day. We break out, we pull back, first green day. First green day trade. We're at the low of this consolidation. Buy low, sell high. See what I'm saying? It's easier. I'm learning a lot. Absolutely. So glad. So glad you're learning a lot. That means a lot, honestly. As long as I'm helping in any type of way. It was bouncing off key levels. Yes. It gave first red day and bought up on the 15 minutes. Yes. That's really all. Look, we just broke out of this consolidation. Now we're pulling back. And then this week we started coiling underneath the high. What if it's just trapping sellers, y'all? We broke back inside this level. Now it's showing resistance. We're going to see. This is interesting. Honestly, had I seen this on a daily time frame, I would have stayed away from US 30. This is not something you want to be a part of. You would rather be a part of a market that's doing this, right? But what this does tell us is that when this market moves, it's going to move for a while. This is multiple days of being in a range. It just broke out, pulled back, and now it's coiling again. So US 30 can offer some good trades in the future, depending on where this is going, which is most likely up because we're super bullish. Super bullish. But we're stuck back in this range. So if I'll probably avoid this next week. You see what I'm saying? Because I want to see, we've made a higher high. Now let's break back up. I want to be a part of that move up. I don't want to be a part of this range. That's ugly right here. You don't know which direction it's going. First red day and first green day for me is the most easy setup to see. It is, though. That's the crazy part because it's part of a 3-day setup. So it's like, even for here, right? Because we get a first red day. Let me turn back on my signals and my indicator. Even here, there was a first red day, right? On Wednesday. So we got a pump day. Then we got a first red day. Now we're looking at the first red day trade. Look how clean this is. I love first red days. I like closing breakouts more now. But first red days, man, look at that's an ACB setup. Peak formation low, peak formation high. Actually, sorry, this is the peak formation low. Peak formation high at the high of day. We got a top. This is a trap and shift. I think I showed this in my video, but boom, ACB setup. We breached a low, lower low. We pump back up to the EMA. We get a nice doji and engulfing off the EMA. Not much of a trade, but this is why I always tell people your first TP will be where the pump started every single time. Because think about it. Think about this. If price is already going down, right, and we pump up, I know for a fact we're going to get at least somewhere down here. Because even if we fail, we have to fail, right? So I know that my first TP will most likely be where the pump started. Now, as far as it breaking back out and creating another lower low, I don't know what it's going to do. But I do know that it's going to get down here. So that's what I like. Those are type of principles that I look for. I like these. These are so clean. This was a terrible day to trade right here. I didn't like this day. I hate when days are choppy or wicky. These are my types of trades. I traded this day too. And when I was taking buy setups, I think I took SPX. I took an SPX trade. XPX delivers. I got a person in my community, shout out Ralph, who trades SPX 500. He's getting so much better at it. So much better. But I participated in one of these buy setups from last week. This one right here. This was so clean. Back when I was taking buy setups before I started my challenge. This is like textbook. You got a dump down from London. You hit right here, right? So coincidentally, this is the breakout level. And I say this is the breakout level because we have broken out on Friday. Can you identify when a day is going to be potentially choppy? Sometimes, but I'm going to talk about that right after this. So when we break out Thursday's high, right? Because this is Thursday's high on Friday, we close and break out long. So this is my breakout level, right? That's why I like trading close and breakouts, y'all, because markets only do 3 things: breakout, pull back to the breakout level. Now I'm getting an engulfing candle. Now I'm breaking structure. We pull back. Now we're in New York session and we get a pin hammer off the low, off the breakout level. That's textbook. Dump, pump, breakout, pullback, trend. Closing breakout all day. Nas gave me my pump and dump. Continuation is best. You like continuations? I am a reversal trader. Nice to meet you. Can you identify? Oh, yeah. Okay. So, how I know that a day might be choppy is sometimes I get caught in chop. Like this week, this right here, chop. I got caught in this. But usually, how you can tell is if price is like going sideways. This is harder to tell. But like for stuff like here, I got caught in this too. You're not really going to know until the session opens up, because think about it. Price don't get choppy until volume starts kicking in. Volume starts kicking in New York session, and now we start getting chopped. But the way that you can avoid a big loss is by just getting out. Like that's why I tell people, like, say we're looking at this trade, right? We get a lower low. So we make a high. This is my low and this is my high. My most recent low, my most recent high. So when my New York session opens up, I'm looking for that sell high setup at the top. But I think news comes out around 9:30, 10 a.m. And then we start getting this big wick right here that wicks both sides. That's the first sign. I like reversals most, but most closing breakouts give likely continuations, but I aim for shorts and pump and dump. Okay, I can accept that. But I think personally that most breakouts fail. Most breakouts fail. They do, you can find continuations inside the day, but a lot of the times, most breakouts do fail. From my experience, but you can experience something different depending on what you look for. But you're not going to know until the New York session opens up. Now it's choppy. So just cut your losses. If you see a big wick and it's wicking both sides, just get out. Closing breakout on Tuesday this week on Euro NZD. On Wednesday, it reversed. Let's see. Wednesday, it reversed. Yes. Wow. It didn't even give you entry. But this, most breakouts reverse. Look, most breakouts reverse. That's what I noticed. Look, most breakouts reverse. That's what I look for. So we got our, look, even here, right? Like I said, it's just basic market structure. I'm going to get off, guys, pretty soon. But let me see. Am I at the right place? No, here. So you break out the previous day's low, right? Breakout, pull back, fail, reverse. You see what I'm saying? You need to read structure, not candles. We break out, we pull back, we fail at this low. Now we're coiling. I was a break and retest trader before SB strategy, but now I don't know what setup to trade. I just want to be on the same side as the trend. If that's a continuation or a reversal, just depends on price at levels. Yes. Take your time, honestly. Take your time. Like maybe you just need to sit back and just see what you like to see. Because then if you sit back and you're looking at these trades, you're like, okay, this is starting to get a little familiar. I think I want to do this. So just take your time. The charts is going to give the same opportunities every single week, maybe different pairs, but you're still going to get those opportunities. So, you already know I'm right here with you, Eric. Close and breakout. We got a sell, right? Now it's an inside. Is this a 3-day setup? We got a long and then we got a false break and then we get to sell at the high. So maybe I wouldn't call it one. It is technically, because technically Wednesday you got pump day. Then you got, lower lows on the inside, the false break for the sell high setup. Look at this. I'm telling you, it happens the same way every single time. May not be perfect, but once you make a lower low in the inside of the pump, it will pull back and retest, and then you take your trade. Support becomes resistance in a downtrend. Sometimes it's ugly, sometimes it's not, but it stays consistent. Is nail and bail the same thing as trap and shift? It's not. A nail and bail is when you're taking trades in the inside of the range. This would be considered a nail and bail because, well, I wouldn't consider this one because you technically took this at the previous day's high. So this would be it. So say, okay, if you're working with high of day, low of day levels, not the previous high of day, current high of day, low of day levels, like right here, this would be a nail and bail trade because I'm trading in the inside, technically. This sell right here, nail and bail. I'm counter trending. When you're counter trending, that's a nail and bail. When you're taking high of day to low of day, nail and bail. When you're triggering these levels, these daily levels, that's not a nail and bail. It shouldn't be unless you're counter trending. Wednesday, man, yeah. And this is Euro NZD. That's huge. This is a 3-day short pattern, y'all. This was a 3-day setup, 1 day of shorts, 2 day of shorts, pump. 1, 2, 3. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And that's how I programmed my indicator. So instead of it just marking every 3-day setup, every 3-day long and 3-day short, for the people that are having problems with consistency and discipline and need an automatic setup strategy, I program my indicator to only tell me if I have 3-day longs following the weekly template, vice versa, 3-day shorts. So if I get a signal, so your signals will always be on Wednesday and Friday. That's how my indicator works. So if I get a Monday short, Tuesday short, it's going to show up for the buy. If I get a Wednesday long, Thursday long, then it's going to pop up for Friday. So your signals will always be on Wednesday and Friday. That's what I love about my indicator. Like that was my favorite thing. I was like, yeah, because people have a hard time sticking to their setup. But if they just tell themselves, okay, well, if I get a signal 3-day long or 3-day shorts, and I come to the charts and it's setting up, I take the trade. The screener does all the work for you. That's the only signals, 3-day longs and 3-day shorts, that follow the weekly template on the indicator. US 30 was peak for, okay, let me go to US 30. US 30 was Wednesday, peak formation high, and Thursday, peak formation low setup. Peak formation high, peak formation low. The only reason why I don't like this setup right here is because yep, because I don't like that this closed in breakout. I don't like that closed in breakout. Usually if I'm looking for the 3-day setup, right, even though it technically is, we're in a higher time frame range. Even if this 3-day setup was to work out, which it kind of sort of did, not necessarily, because look, right after, and it's now choppy. It's the fact that we're in a range. So even if it was a 3-day setup, it's going to react off of both sides. It's just better to say sell high, buy low in a range. Oh, DJ in here. What's up? When you say 3 days short, does it need to close below the opening price? Yes. Basically, 3 days shorts is one red candle, two red candle, signal. 3 day long, one up closing candle, two up closing candle, and then sell high. And when you look for the 3 day shorts, right? Like here, one, two, the third day needs to breach the low. So what were we just looking at? Euro and NZD. Actually, was this one? No, this wasn't one. Let me find one for you guys. 1, 2, 3. Okay, look at this one. Even though it's not clean, look, you got 1 day alongs, you got 2 day alongs where it breached. Actually, no, I don't like this one either because it closed as a first red day. I need to find a better one. Okay, here's one. No, that's not a good one. That's not a good one. Wednesday, Thursday. Actually, it is. It's just not. You want to see it breach the high again. I can't find a good one, y'all. This closed up, but this gave you the buy. Yeah. Okay, here's one. Found one. It's hard to find them. But when they there, they there. Look, long Monday, Tuesday, long. Wednesday, you needed to fail at the high. 1 day of long, 2 day of long. Now we're at the high and we fail. Breakout, pull back, fail, reverse. Lower low in the inside, pump back up, coil, dump. Oh, 2 candles. Okay, I see now. Yes. I guess it should close and breakout on 2 days, and the third day it breach high of day and reverse. Yes. The best ones will close and break out. The best ones, like this right here, close and break out. This right here, close and break out. Then it breaches the high again and fails. That's what you want to see for 3 day longs. It doesn't have to close as a close and breakout. Technically, it just has to breach it. But I find that the high probability 3 day longs will close and break out, breach the high again and fail. So, yep. And the crazy part is if you look on Stacey's courses and stuff and videos, he actually has like a different version of like 3 day longs and 3 day shorts. That's like, let's say, this is what made it complicated for me. When you have price going up and then it breaks the low of day and closes like that, right? So say this is day 1 and it closes as a red day, right? Then we have day 2 where it breaches the low again and goes lower. That's a 3 day short pattern. So basically when price is going up and then it just breaks the low of day, that's day 1. And then day 2 was if it breaks the low again and closes. So it, like, when you're learning from Stacey, sometimes I'll be watching different videos and I'll see different variations of the same signal he just talked about. And I'm like, hold on, this doesn't look like a 3 day short. But to keep it simple for me and to keep it repeatable and mechanical, look for 2 close and breakouts, right? Because those are the high probability ones. And then look for the reversal the next day. Let's see. This breaches the low. 1, 2, 2 close and breakouts. Monday, Tuesday, reversal day. And look, on the third day, wait for it to breach the previous day's low for it to fail and reverse. The pattern on that recent one, I see it all the time. The top pattern, small hump, higher, small hump, dump. Yes. I'm telling you, you're going to be killing it, Eric, because you're sitting back and watching this. DJ, man, to be honest, I never understood from watching Stacey till I found your channel. I'm slowly learning. I'm so glad to hear that. So glad you're getting knowledge and clarity. Yes, stick to these. One closing breakout, two closing breakout, breach the low again, reverse, higher high, triggered, higher high, dump, coil. Look what it's coiling on top of. I can't make this stuff up, y'all. Where it broke structure from. People don't understand that. Like, when you break structure and you make a higher high, it's going to dump back down and retest that. Coil, pump again. Here, look, we're already in an uptrend, higher highs and higher lows. Higher high, higher low. We break the high. Higher high, we're dumping back down to where structure was broken. Pump. Thank you. Thank you. Sniper is amazing, bro. Sniper is amazing. He be killing it. Another great mentor. Great mentor. But literally, guys, that's all that I do. I do this in my community all the time. I got a lot planned for my community. I have a whole program centered around creating an actual trading plan for you. You don't have to do nothing. I create the trading plan, I create the risk management plan. I'm not even going to say too much, but it's going to be great. I plan on, because I really feel like it's mindset. And so if I can tackle people's mindset and I can tackle people's confidence, then when they get back on the charts, it's not nothing that's going to stop them. Especially if I can get them to be consistent. Look at this. High, low, we break out, we pull back. We trend, even on a higher scale, it's still crazy good. Crazy good. Until we fail. Breakout, pull back, fail, reverse. Lower lows in the inside. Pull up again. We're respecting this high. And then we dump. This is a 3-day setup, I think. Yeah, we was just looking at this. But that's all the market does. It breaks out, it pulls back, it fails, it reverses. Now we got an equal low, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, right? Now we got an equal high, lower low, lower high. You see what I'm saying? Most breakouts fail. Boop. This is technically a 3-day short pattern. You got 1 day of shorts triggered, 2 days of shorts triggered for the Friday reversal. But guys, that's all there is to it. Now, if you want access to my indicator, that's free with my VIP access. My Discord is free as well. I have a free side. So if you guys want to come and chill with us, it's fun. I got heavy hitters in my chat. There's a lot of people that trade with me, and there's a lot of people that trade with Sniper that are in my community. But we got a lot of good people, a lot of great people. Crazy. A lot of people in there, they don't even know how good they are. VIP, where it's at. Do you trade outside hours? I don't do that. So like, since my session is New York, I'm trading between the hours of 8 and 11 a.m. Like, say I get into a trade at 11 a.m. or like late in the third hour, then I'm already in that trade in the gap time. But I'm not taking a trade outside of 8 a.m. and after 11 a.m. And especially for indices, I'm not even trading indices until after 9:30. And a lot of the times, those trades will happen from 9:45 to 10 a.m. What market do you trade the most? Indices. Pretty much, yeah. Indices. So Everything that you see on my watch list right now is the only pairs that I trade. The only pairs. How would you approach Asia session is all I can trade at the moment. How I would trade Asian session is by gathering, okay, these are the only pairs that you need to look at for Asian session. GJ, EJ, Japanese index, gold. Sometimes GU and EU, but I like to trade GU and EU London along with oil and Germany 40. So Germany 40, oil, GU and EU London pairs. Asian session, EJ, GJ, gold, Japanese index. Those are the only pairs that I need for Asian session. And sometimes even gold will just give you what you need. I consider Asian session a little trickier, right? Because you're literally at the beginning of the day. So you're not working with much besides the previous day levels. So it's a little trickier for you, but it's doable. Just look at what happened the day before. Mark your highs, mark your lows, okay? Here would have been a bit more trickier, right? Well, you don't have a signal that day, but you have the higher high from this higher high. You're already on the backside of this move, making higher highs and lower lows. It's trickier. You're not working with much, but that's why you need to go off a signal. So if I get a close and breakout short and I know that I breached the previous day's low, well, what happens when we make a lower low? We pump for a dump. So if I'm trading Asian session, I'm not thinking it's going to dump during my session. If I'm making higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher lows, I'm thinking that we're pulling back for the dump. So that's why timing and sessions matter, because you're going to get different trades for different sessions, but it's doable. Just follow those pairs that I just told you. I really like EJ and GJ. That's the pair. Look at it. Like, I just like how they move. Clean, right? Even if you saw this, we broke out, we pulled back. Now we're creating support on top of resistance. You get your buy trade. Here, a little bit harder, right? Because you're not working with much, but just marking, okay, so this is my high and this is my low. Are we working the high or the low? We currently are working the high, technically, before Asian session, but it's harder, right? It's harder to manage that because you don't have many levels to work with. But that's why you use your previous day's level. So I usually, the levels that you're working with are New York session levels. That's the high in New York. It came to the high and then it started to sell. So you got a little nail and bail. Wasn't much though, because you got the weekly close right here. But just stick to those pairs here. It's all about what happens the day before. This is the previous day's high. You broke out, you pulled back. Now you're failing at the breakout level. Pin hammer, lower low, lower high. Okay, once I started learning from you, Miss Lady Stacey's vids make sense. Hey, nice. Asia is hard because it's the day one on a smaller scale. Yes, it is. It is type harder. I know somebody that used to only be able to trade Asian, and it was harder for him. It was harder for him because, like I said, you don't have much levels. You got to go off of what happens the previous day. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. You're at closing price. At least you're at a level. Sometimes you'll already be at closing price. Closing price will start the move. It depends on if you're on the front side. What's your back side? My front side is a pump after a lower low, so I need to look for a dump, right? Here, you're taking a trend trade, but you already know how a downtrend moves, right? Breakout, pullback, trend. You've already breached the previous day's low. Look, and then you're at closing price. So that's the benefit